Alrighty, we are on take 2 again. My apologies. I was just talking about the system that I'm using. I'm having issues with it, and obviously it doesn't, apparently it's not liking me today or the night before. So my apologies again. Let me go back and introduce myself to those that are out there waiting to join us. If this cuts off again, I apologize. Hopefully it doesn't do that. I am receiving an error code or a latency code that has something to do with the streaming of, anyways, I've looked it up and I'm going to have to do some more research, but let's get started. I am Dawn Duvall. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I am going to be working this today. This is our creation anticipation, where we use a sketch to create easy cards. It gives us a base to start in case we have a little bit of a brain, not sure how to get started. A sketch is really good to help you get off the ground and create cards. So we're going to use that to create 2 easy cards. I'm going to flip the camera down. We are going to be working with the utterly awesome or utterly amazing suite, and I'm going to show you what is included in that suite. And again, if you're out there on YouTube and Facebook, my apologies. Make sure that you let me know that you're out there, where you're from, and if this is your first time watching me, and if so, my apologies for the computer issues. All right, so the suite comes with this amazing, beautiful, cute stamp set. It has 10 stamps, and there are different otters on here, plus a little baby, and then some greenery and some fish. And these are our photopolymer, which are the see-through stamps. And then if you purchase the suite, you'll also receive 15 dies that coordinate. And then you're going to also receive this beautiful paper that comes, it's 12 by 12, and you do get 2 of each set and 2 of each piece. So let me show you real quick what the papers look like. It's absolutely stunning. I might have them upside down. So there we got swimming otters. There's the back side. We have some that are playing around. It's a little bit more colorful and with the rocks. And then we have single with the babies, they're swimming, and then we've got the water looking paper, and we have more that are swimming around on the rocks with some different backgrounds, and then we have this beautiful like fauna with the aqua color paper. So this is absolutely, I love this set, so that's what we're going to do this morning. And I'm going to move this out of the way. And then also as part of the suite, it does come with this Lost Lagoon cording, soft cording trim. Isn't that beautiful? So if for the suite itself, so everything, the paper, the stamp, the dies, and the trim is $75.25. Or you can just purchase the bundle itself, and that bundle is $45.75. And if you like the paper, I think this is $12.50. And then the stamp set alone is $19, and the cord, the trim is $8. So it might make sense because you get a little bit of a discount when you purchase the bundle and or the suite. So that might be something that you want to take advantage of. But I love this set, so we're going to go ahead and get started in getting our cards created. Let me pull out my supplies real quick. Obviously, I was not paying attention, and then we lost the issue again. So let me show you the card, the first card that we're going to start with. And we're going to, hang on one second. Let's move this out of the way. And we're going to leave our cord out because we're going to use that. And I'm going to put this over here. I think we are still... Let me get my stamp out, and we are going to work with the 2 otters that are laying in the water together. So we are going to, let me show you the first card. Let me get that out here. This is the one. Okay, so this is the card that we're going to be creating. And it looks like part of the problem with my studio, my Switcher Studio, is that there's a big delay. There's a longer than normal delay in you all doing. or it's in fast mode. So we're going to go back and look at all that. But this is the card that we're going to create. We're going to stamp the while I'm talking to you. And then we're going to use, whoopsie, we're going to cut the paper. Hang on, I just flipped my camera around a little bit. And then, so this is what we're going to do. Then we're going to pop them out on, I went ahead and cut the circle out. Oh, and there's one thing I forgot to show you all that comes in the suite. Hang on a minute. Where'd they go? Hold up. Oh, here they are. I forgot to tell you, the other thing that comes in the suite are these Riverside Irregular Pearls. And these are gorgeous. So let me show you. My apologies. So here is what the pearls look like. And they have this, little different, slightly different shaded colors. And then they have, the larger and the smaller sizes. So this is the first card that we're going to create. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Now I am using Pretty Peacock and cardstock, and that's cut at 8.5 by 5.5. And I am I'm trying to get one of my sentiments together. All right, so we're going to do that. So let me pull all my supplies out. All right, so we are going to take, now let me show you the sketch. That would be helpful. I did have it posted. Let me pull the sketch back in so you can see exactly what we're going to do. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? All right, here's the sketch that we're going to work with. Now, if you look at mine, okay, so we've got a piece that's going to be 3.5 by 2.5, and that's this piece right here. And then we're going to cut a longer piece at 5/8 of an inch by 4. We're going to cut a flag at the bottom, so that's this one. And then we're going to do a smaller one, which is the one with the fish, that has it's 5/8 by 1 3/8. And that's based on with a piece of basic white behind it at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I'm using a deckled circle. This one's a little bit bigger. You can use a punch. You can use whatever circles or whatever piece dies that you have that you might want to work with. Okay, so that's the sketch that we're going to use to get ourselves started with this card. All right, so now I've got all of my pieces pre-cut. I'm not sure why I have 2 pieces in there, but that's okay. All right, so 5.5 by 8.5 peacock, Pretty Peacock. We score it at 4 1/4. So let me bring in my bone folder, and we're going to go ahead and get this scored. And I've already scored it, I'm sorry. We're going to get it burnished. Now, you can run this piece of white if you don't want it to look so plain through an embossing folder. If you have one, that might make sense to do that. Let me open up and put some more light in here and see if that helps. All right, so this piece we're going to attach to the outside of the card. But before we do that, we're going to attach our piece of designer paper, and I'm going to leave a little small border. Actually, I'm not going to leave a border. I did on that one. Let me see how I'm going to do this. Let's do it this way. I was going to run it that way, but let's do it this way. So we're going to put it right towards the left corner, but we're going to leave a little bit of a white. It's going to give us a little bit bigger piece right here, which is fine. And you can always stamp the back with images as well. So that's something else that you can do. So we'll go ahead. Isn't this gorgeous paper? I hate covering it up because I just love the floral. I love this part right here. But we're going to go ahead and and I use the back side because it gives me the effect of water, and that's what I thought that would look pretty with what we're doing. And you can center this if you want. You don't have to follow the sketch the exact way. This one I am, but on the next card, we're going to do something a little bit different. Hi, Karen. That's okay. My computer decided to shut down on me again, so I'm going to try to work on that. I thought I had it figured out, but apparently I don't. So we're working with the Utterly Amazing Suite, and it's got some beautiful paper, so you'll have to start back at the beginning and you'll see what is included in that. All right, so we're going to put this piece on here, and then according to our template, I need to have a piece that is 5/8 by 4 1/4. And so I'm going to take this and we're going to cut a banner. And I think what's happening is there's an issue with the computer in my Switcher Studio, it's like got a slowness. It's called latency. I'm not quite sure. I've got to do some more research on that, because as I'm watching the video, it looks like it's taking a little bit longer for you all to see it, but it's also then all of a sudden it speeds right back up. So I don't know. Okay, so if you didn't see the sketch, let me show this to those that are just joining. Here is the sketch that we're going to start with. And as I mentioned earlier, I think we used this last month or the month before, so that's my apologies. I do have one printed out that I was going to use, and then I realized I'd already posted this one. So this is the piece that I just put down that looks like water. Now I'm getting ready to do this banner and then the smaller banner. This is a really easy card. So we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the, let me get my glue thing out. Hang on, where is it at? My pad. Well, anyways, hopefully I don't get glue. I was looking for my crafty, my mat. So we're going to put some adhesive on this, and we're going to add this to the front of the card. And again, the sketches are to help you if you get started or sit down and all of a sudden you have a blank look on your face and you're not quite sure what to do. So, you know, the sketch is just to give you a starting point. And you don't have to do it exactly like the sketch says. So you can do whatever you want. It's just another way to give you an idea of how to get the off the ground. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to add our other piece of, let me get my paper out because I got to stamp my otter. Now we're going to add another piece of, let me make sure I'm not using, hold on a minute. I've got pieces all over the place. And that's this one. Hang on a minute. I'm looking for make sure I don't have any other pieces in the way. All right, now the next one we're going to use a piece here that's got the fish on it. And I don't know why I have that. Hang on a minute. I'm looking for my fish and I'm not sure where it's at. Hang on a minute. That's probably why I have these two pieces out here, because I've lost my fish piece. Hold on. Let me check the other envelope to make sure it's not in there. Hang on a minute. All right, we're going to do that one and this. Oh, here, this is mine right here. Okay, so I've got this piece of fish. Sorry about that. All right, now this is a little bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this down because it says it should be about, what does it say? 5/8 by 1 3/8. So I think I'll just cut it up just a little bit, just to trim it down. And then we're going to cut a flag in the bottom of this one. And again, you can have it whatever length you want, right? This doesn't mean you have to do it exactly the way that I'm doing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to glue this down. And again, it's just an easy way if you're having a little bit of a brain fart and can't figure out what to do. This is just another way. And I'm going to overlap this just a tad. I'm going to put it right there just to give it some color. We got some fish that are kind of flying, that are swimming. I guess we'll say they're swimming upstream. How's that? All right, so we've got that. Now I'm going to go ahead and add this piece to my card base. And again, we're using Pretty Peacock 5.5 by 8.5. And then we're going to stamp our otters. And you know what? I pulled that piece of paper out and I don't need it because I already pre-cut the circle. So let's go ahead and add this to our card front. And then the other one is going to be using the sketch, but not quite exactly, just to show you how you can use it and do something a little bit different. So we're going to add this right here. All right. And okay. Now I'm using, you can use whatever circle punch that you choose. I am working with, I cut out one of the decal circles. All right, and then we'll go ahead and ink this up with our Memento black ink. All right, I think I got a little bit much on him. Hopefully that doesn't mess up my circle. I don't think it will because I got some black on it. All right. Let's see how this works. We're going to hopefully get him inside. It might go off a little bit, but that's all right. That'll be okay. Okay. All right, so there is our otters. And let me clean this off real quick. I got my stamp cleaner under here. And I'll do that in just a second. Okay, go ahead and do some blending. So I'm going to color the otters in pecan pie, and I'm going to use light gray, light beige, I think, for, you know what I'm thinking I might do? I think I'll do the beige. On the other one, I'm going to do gray. All right, so this one, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to color them in pecan pie, and then I've got Old Olive and Granny Apple Green to color. I pulled out the wrong color. Hang on a second. I'm going to use Granny Apple Green and Old Olive. I didn't grab, hang on a second, there we go. My Old Olive's down below. Just to give them some different texture on the grass right here. So I think I'm going to do the small ones. This is Granny Apple Green, which is dark. So I'm just going to come in and color these little leaves right here. And then the green looks like grass. I'm going to make that the Old Olive. All right, so there's that. And then we'll do the same thing over here. So this is a pretty easy design because it's not going to take that long to color. We're just going to make sure we stay within the lines, right? And we'll get these leaves colored. Hopefully we're doing okay and we're not, it's not taking too long for y'all to see what's happening. I'm going to get back on the internet, onto the system site, and see what I need to do. All right, so that's the, that is Granny Apple Dark that I just did. And I think, let's try, I might do the Old Olive Light. And I'm just going to color these, yeah, I'm going to do these in the lighter shade, the Reeds of Grass. And let's see, there's one here. Whoops, I just went out of the lines on that one. All right, so there's that. Okay, doke. Now we're going to come in with the dark pecan pie. And I'm just going to make a little bit of shading where the seal's kind of fur is a little like kind of wrinkled up or whatever. All right, so I am going to color and here's the card again so that y'all can see what I'm doing. All right, so this guy, I'm going to take my crumb cake light, and I'm going to color right from here. Now, I noticed in the pictures that their faces were white up, kind of a lighter shade up to like around the eyes area. So this one, I came down to the neck. So I'm just going to do a little bit up, a little bit higher, and color down. And again, this is the light crumb cake. And we're just going to color this part of his chest. All right. And then this guy, I'm going to color this part of his neck right here. And we're going to come up just a little bit over this area and color that. And again, this is the light crumb cake. All right. And then this is part of his leg. So we're going to color that. All right. So there's our light crumb cake. Now I'm going to come in with the dark one more time. I'm just going to make a little definition around where his hip is, just to give it a little bit of darkness, and maybe right there where they're laying, and probably his little paw right there, and do his little paw. And then I'll come back in with the light pecan, and we're going to go ahead and color these guys. And we're just going to start and just color. And I want to stay within the lines because this one we're not cutting. So I have to make sure I don't mess up. All right, so, and this is easy to do. So we're just going to color our otters. Isn't this a cute set? I just love this. It's in our online exclusive, so it's not in any of our catalogs. So just go to my shopping store online, and you can, if you don't know how to reach my site, just look up demonstrator, find a demonstrator, and click on Dawn Duval, and it will bring you bring me up, and you can do your shopping, and then it's in the online exclusives, or you can go in the search bar and just type in otters or utterly amazing, or just type in otters and it should pull up and it'll give you your choices if you want to purchase the suite, or you just want the stamp, or you want to get the stamp bundle with the dies. This one we're not using any dies, but we will on the next card. So I'm just coming around and just trying to get, and I'm trying to make some strokes so it makes it look like his hair, you know. All right, now I'm going to come over to this guy and we'll get this one done. And I just want to try to lightly color that one in. And then we'll come around and do the same thing on his body. Color his leg. And we'll just come in like that. I like to try to do around the inside edges when I'm coloring so I don't mess up and go outside the edges, you know. So if I get that part done, then it makes it easier for me to get my coloring done. So we're just going to I'm just lightly going around the outside edges, and then I can do his leg. All right, and then we're just going to get him colored in. And you can use your fat tip, but what happens, you'll find, if you haven't used any kind of marker, if you use the fat tips, they tend to wear out and the ink goes much faster, and then you're left with the small tip. So I tend to just use the small tip because most of mine are, the big fat tips are usually don't have enough ink in them. All right, so that kind of helps with him, with their bellies being a little bit lighter. So there's our otters. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to stamp that in Lost Lagoon because that is part of the color in the suite. So let's go ahead and stamp, and I'm going to put Love You Lots just because they're right next to each other. So let's just ink this up a little bit here. Oh, thanks, Karen. All right, so we're going to stamp that right here over their heads. Isn't that, oh, I just love this set. I love absolutely love the paper. The paper is really stunning. If nothing else, and you like pattern paper, good Lord, I can't get this thing open or closed. I must be having all sorts of issues. We're just going to put him over there out of the way. So, but if you get the paper, there's so much you can do with it. If you like the water, you can make all sorts of water scenes and all of that. So just keep that in mind as well. And then down here is where we're going to tie this new cord. It's called soft cording. It's really neat. It's just so soft. And it's really, really, I just love this texture of it, and the color is just amazing. I did post, if you all haven't seen it, I did post videos. It wasn't of, yeah, I think one of them was how this was created, and then one was for the other suite that came out, which is more for like a Valentine's or wedding type. It's more for a lovey, you know, it's red and got whites and pinks and stuff in it. So, but the video is pretty amazing how they talk about the artist, how she comes up with these ideas, you know, the idea of creating this stuff, and that's what I find pretty fascinating. All right, so we're going to just create this bow, and hopefully I can get my tail, which I didn't do it, so I could get them to come down together, but maybe we can force it. So I'm going to take a glue dot, and we're going to glue that down. I know, Karen, you and I are the same. I tell you, I wish you didn't live so far, because I'd be coming over there and going out to dinner and having drinks with you or something. Anyways, so I'm going to place a glue dot right about here to hold down the bow, and I think I'm going to try to force this tail down onto the glue dot itself, and hopefully that will help, that will work, and then it will make it look a little bit better. So we're going to just stick that right on here, and hopefully I've got enough of the glue dot that will hold the tails together as well. There we go. There we go. All right, and then we're going to pop this up on dimensional. Whoops, moving my stuff around, trying to grab my tweezers. My husband left to go shopping, grocery shopping, so I said, good, so he doesn't bother me. I didn't want to have to move into the bedroom to do my stuff. Let me make sure I'm in the camera. Not that y'all need to see me put dimensionals on here, but I'm adding dimensionals. So let's move, well, that's okay. Let's move one here, and I'll put one kind of right there. All right, so we're going to pop this guy on here, and then we will be done with this card, and then we're going to move on to the next one. And it's just such a beautiful, I just love this set. And then I'm going to place this a little bit towards the bottom because we have all this open white space, right? So I'm going to put that right there. And then I'm going to pull in some of our Riverside gems here, and we're going to place some of these around. And these are really pretty. They're you've got some white, pearlized, some looks like silverish color, and then isn't that gorgeous? Aren't those colors pretty? So we've got like a medium and a small. Whoopsie. So they always say to put them in odd numbers. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put a small one here, and then I'm going to put one of, actually I'm going to put a bigger one. Let's do it just like I did that one. I'll put it up here a little bit. And then I'm going to put a white one because I think that will help bring, that will pop on there. And these are called Riverside Irregular Pearls, just to let you know. And then there's our card. Isn't that the cutest? Hey, Phyllis, how are you? I miss you too. Glad you can make it. All right, this is our first card using the Utterly Awesome Otters. And there's a suite that comes with the paper, the gems that I just used, the stamp set, and the dies with this new cording trim. And that is $75.25, or you can get the bundle for $45.75. All right, so there's our first first card. Isn't that gorgeous? Don't you just love that? Okay, so then the next thing we have to do is, as we always do, we have to decorate our envelope. So I'm thinking on this one, we're going to do it this way because I love this green tropical. So I'm going to place that on the envelope outside, or you could put the water if you want it to blend, but I think I like this. And plus the mail people would probably appreciate having something pretty, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put some seal right around the edge of my envelope, and we're going to do this to both of our cards. We do this for two reasons. One, to decorate the envelope, and two, to use up our pattern paper. Right, Phyllis? Phyllis can relate to that. All right, so we're going to lay this down here and put it right up next to the fold of the envelope. And I've got it going in the right direction. And then we're just going to flip it over and just follow the envelope flap and cut around. And then it really does give you a really nice look to your finished set that you're going to send out to someone. It's always nice when you go to the mail and you get a beautiful card that has a dressed up envelope, right? So we'll get that around here. Oh, I know. All right, so this is going to be a piece of trash, so we're just going to set that off to the side. And there is our beautiful card with the coordinating envelope. Isn't that pretty? This is if you like water and stuff like this, this is a must-have stamp set. All right, so that's the first card. And now I'm going to do one more that's going to be a little bit of a different take. And those that you're just joining, this is the sketch that we're working with, okay? And a sketch, again, like I mentioned earlier, is just a starting point for you to get off the ground. And if you're having a moment, you can't remember what to do, then that's going to help us, all right? So we're going to use the same, everything in the suite. Now this one, let me show you the card that we're going to make. Give me 1 second here. I've got all these little pieces. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. All right, hang on. So this one, I've already cut this otter out because I did a lot of coloring, and I'll go through everything that we've got. This is using some of the dies. Let me show you. Let me show you. Here's the card. Now, think about that template, right? So the template was to go long ways this way, right? With 2 pieces of designer paper with a circle. Now this one, we have it going landscape mode, right? So I got my fish down here, which is the back side of one of the papers. And then I have a little bit of that, the fauna. And then I went ahead and cut out all of this because I didn't want to do that well and hold y'all up. So I've got the otter, I've already colored him, cut out. And those are the dies. And I've got the little baby. He's running up these rocks. And I've put some greenery behind it, like you see in the water. He's on a log. He's trying to get over to his mama, but I think he's lost. And then I did a smaller circle using this sentiment and popped that up on dimensionals. And then I took the inside, and we're going to stamp the fish swimming around the bottom of your card. Isn't that pretty? Yes, this is an online, in the online exclusives. You can type in otters or otterly amazing, and that will pull it up for you, Phyllis. All right, so let me bring in our pieces that we need. So give me 1 second. I'm going to try to organize everything. All right, so we've got our 2 pieces. I'm not sure why I have 2 of these, but it probably goes, the other one goes somewhere. All right, so we're going to take our white piece, and we are going to, again, we're using an 8.5 by 5.5 Pretty Peacock. Lost Lagoon is part of one of the colors in here too. And we're going to give this a good burnish. Okay. All right, now we're going to set this off to the side. Now this is going to go in the landscape mode, okay? So we're going to put this off to the side there. And let me pull in the card so that y'all can see it. I'm going to put it right about here. That way you can see the card, what we're going to do. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to attach, now I cut this piece down, and I'm going to leave a little bit of a border. So I cut this piece, let me see, did I write this down? I don't think I did. Hold on, let me get my ruler. This is cut at, I made this one at 5 1/8 by 3.5 inches. I wanted to have more water, so I'm going to glue that down. And then I took a piece of one of the back sides, and I cut about 1 inch off, which is by 5 1/8 as well, of the fish that's going to be swimming at the bottom of the water. Okay, so let's go ahead, and we're going to add our paper to our base, and then we'll start putting our card together. And thank you all for spending your Saturday mid-morning or morning with me, afternoon, whichever it works. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to leave a little bit of like an 1/8, probably like a 1/16 of an inch, except for here it's about an 1/8. So we're going to leave a little bit of white around the edges. All right, and then this piece we're going to add to the bottom, and this one we can leave it a little bit white. I'm going to bring it all the way down because I like the fish. So I'm going to make the fish, and I need to trim this. So I'm going to trim up just a little bit. Hopefully I can do this without too much mess. All right, so we're going to line that up, and let me trim just a little bit more. Bear with me 1 second. I'm just going to trim a little hair off there. I think that should work. Let's see. Yep. That should work. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this guy glued down. Hang on. All right. And Tuesday, we'll probably do, I'm not quite sure yet, we'll probably do some more holiday cards because it's the holiday season, so we need to get ready for cards. All right. So we're going to lay that right there, and of course, look at that. I cut that, and it's crooked, right? You know why? Because I did not use my paper trimmer. That's why you should always use your trimmers. There we go. Well, that helped because it was crooked, so I could cut it off. All right, so we've got our fish on here. And now the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to start popping everybody up on dimensionals. Now, I do need to add my piece of fauna or flora, whatever. Let's see, which piece do I want to go with? Now, that one, I made it a lot bigger. Now, this one, we'll go with that one. We'll go with this one. But I have a shorter one. We could do the shorter one. I think I'll do the shorter one because the leaves are going up. So we're just going to do that. I'm going to cut this one into a banner. Now, I didn't cut the bottom one, right? So again, even though our template said to cut a banner, we don't have to. And I'm going to cut the little one into a banner, but I'm not going to cut the big one. All right, so let's go ahead and add this. Put some adhesive on here. So, all right, so we'll do that. I know I love this set. As soon as I saw it, it's been sitting on my desk, on my table for a good week, if not longer. I ordered it and haven't had a chance to get to it. All right, so we're just going to lay that right there. We're going to put that down right there. And now I'm just going to start setting up and building my my little otters here. I got to find my rocks. All right, so we've got the baby. So he's going to be trying to climb up to Mama, and you can see that where it should have the hole there for the wood, and well, and I want to leave room for my sentiment's going to go there. So let's go ahead. Now this one I laid down flat. So and it if you notice when it cuts it, you can see how it cuts to give it that. I don't know if you can see. Let me see how you can see how it pops up, that little piece of brown. You can see below it. So just take your adhesive, and if you have a fine point piece of glue thing, just put a few dots on the parts, because otherwise it's gonna go through. It'll just, you know, make a mess. All right, so we're gonna put this probably right about here, because I want the baby to be able to get on the rocks. All right, so now we have rocks. So we're going to pull out our mini dimensionals, which we're going to use. Now let me pull a couple of these off. So I'm going to put one back here. Oops, on his, let me just do the one I have. Whoops, I got too many on my fingers now. I don't think I need one on his head, do I? Maybe I do. Let's put one on his head. Hang on a second. That's what happens when you have fingernails, right? All right, so there's the baby that we're going to use. Now we're going to do our rocks. So on the smaller rocks, we're going to put a little dimensional on there, because we want these popped up just to give it, again, some dimension, right? Hence the word dimensional. All right, and then you can see when you cut out the rocks, there is a little bit of a ridge, so you can tell which is the back and the front. All right, so we're going to pop that in there. Okay, and then this guy is big enough that I can put a regular size dimensional on him. So we will do that. We'll pop one right there. Okay. Okay, and then the otter here, we're going to put some dimensionals on this one as well. And I'm going to call it a she, because she's got the baby, unless Daddy's watching. All right, so I'm going to put that, and then I'm going to put a couple of smaller ones over here. Let me see where they are. I guess it would help if I get in the camera, huh? All right, we'll put one there, and then we're going to put one on the end of his tail. Put it right about there. Oh, hang on. Got that one's hanging over just a little bit. All right, so there's that. So we've got that glued down. Now let me put Mama here. And she's like chilling out, watching the kid, right? So let's go ahead and pop her down, and then we'll get our baby on there, and then we need to put our branches in the water, and I am going to trim those down. So let's put Mom right about, let's put her right about here. And actually, you know what? Let me wait. I'm going to hold off until I do my sentiment, because that way I can make it kind of look like she's hanging over that. So hold off on that one. All right, let's put our greenery in. Now I'm going to trim this down from the bottom. So I don't want it quite as high. So let me just go in here and trim off a little piece. And we're just going to play with this and see how we like it. And I think that will probably be fine. And then we'll do the same thing with the Granny Apple. This is Granny Apple Green. So we'll cut, and then you can adjust them however high you want them, right? So we'll move all these pieces of paper out of the way. So I think we'll do it with the green. I like the lighter green on top. So let's do that. And we're just going to put some glue on the back. And again, we're just going to put little dots on it. We don't need a whole lot, but just enough to hold it in place. So let's put that right about here. And that's going to be covered up when we put the stones on there. And then we've got our green. So we'll take our Granny Apple and we'll just put a couple more little dots there. Okay. And we're going to put this one, let's see, let's go this way so it's kind of over that one. And if it pops up a little bit, I'm not going to pop that down. I'm going to let it kind of lift and do its thing. All right, so this is the big rock. So we're going to place this. I'm going to put it right over the edge of that. Let me make sure that they're down. All right, so we're going to place that right there. That way, baby he's going to have these rocks so he can walk across them. so he can figure out how to get. Now this is the bigger of the two. Oh, I should have went up a little bit higher, but that's okay. We're going to put him right there. And then we got this little tiny one. We'll put that one over off to the side a little bit. So we'll put this one over here so he can jump around where he wants to go. All right, and then we have, I think that looks fine. Then we're going to take the little baby otter and put him right, whoops, I'll get my paper out of the way. I think I'll have him sitting right there. He's off, so that way he can be running towards his mommy. All right, and I got another piece here, and I'm not sure why that's there, but that's all right, we'll leave it. Okay, now, the next thing we need to do is we need to stamp our sentiment, and we're going to stamp that in Pretty Peacock as well. All right, and we're going to stamp it. This is a scrap of something that I had cut out, and which I thought, well, that's perfect, because I'm going to use the 1 3/4 inch punch. Now, the first thing I'm going to do, I can't believe I can't get that other one. I'm going to, before I do that, I'm going to grab a little bit of this ink right here in my lid. I just want to get a little bit, and I just want to add a little bit of color to the back of this so it doesn't look so starky white, okay? And then we'll stamp our, and that's all I'm going to do. And we're going to cut this out so it looks in a better circle. We'll just put a little bit right there to blend it in the center, okay? And then, of course, when I get done, I'll wash out my sponge. All right, and then we're going to ink this up, and we're going to do the same sentiment. You're utterly awesome. And again, this is Pretty Peacock. So we're going to stamp that right there. All right, and then let me close this up before I make a mess. Hang on, how that goes. All right, I'm going to bring in the 1 3/4 inch circle punch, and I'm just going to place this in here and center it. Hopefully get it centered and hold it in place of where I think it's centered. And I'm going to punch this out, okay, and then get my scrap out of there. He'll come out eventually. There we go. All right, and then we're going to add some dimensionals to this as soon as I can locate them. And we're going to put 3 on here. All right, so we're going to pop that up there, and I think now I know I'm going to take one of the, actually, let me do something here. Whoops, hang on. We're going to take, no, I think that'll work. I'm going to move this one up just a little bit, because the otter's got a dimensional behind her head, so I don't want it to be so high. All right, so that's going to go, we're going to put that right about there. And you could put some cord underneath it if you choose to do so. I chose not to. All right, and then we're going to take the mama otter, and we're going to place her where she is going to be laying right about like that. We'll pull this down just a little bit. We're going to have her where she's laying more in the grass area. All right, so there's that. So let's go ahead and attach this to our card front. And then the next thing we'll do is color, we're going to stamp our fish, get them all stamped on the inside. We're going to decorate the inside of our card, and then we'll do the envelope for this one as well. So let's get the ink, or the glue, I should say. All right. Don't you just love this? Isn't this pretty colors? These are my favorite colors, guys. I think most of y'all already know that. Okay, so here's the card. There's the front of it. All right. So far, so good. All right, now we're going to take, we are going to do some decorating on the outside. So let's take some more of our gems. Let's add some more of these, and let's see, let's pop one up here. I kind of like it right there because it's an open space. And let's do a couple small ones. Let's put one, I'll put it on, yeah, I kind of like that, so it's opposite side. And then we'll do another small one. Let's do a different color. Let's do this one down here, and let's put it right here. Let's see, where is it going to show? Let's put it in the fish area, right there. All right, so that's that. Now we can color, stamp our fish for the inside of the card, and I'm going to stamp the fish in Calypso Coral. So let's bring that in, and we're going to go ahead and stamp our fish, and we're just going to do them at the bottom. And you can do them straight, but the stamp has them kind of going up at an angle, so it just kind of makes sense to do that. So I'm going to start off the paper, and then I'm just going to follow, I think I got a little bit, just going to go making it look like they're swimming. All right, we'll go back. Let me get over here. My paper's a little crunched up looking. Come back that way. Oops. And hang on, let me clean this. It's got a little bit of ink on the inside. We don't want that. All right, so let's ink that up, and we'll come down this way. There you go. All right. So there's the inside of our card. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this. All right, and we're going to attach that to the inside. So that's going to dress up the inside of the card and make that just kind of go right with it. All right, so there's that. There's the card. Isn't that gorgeous? It's a fun card. And then there's the inside, so when they open it, they'll see the fish that are swimming around at the bottom. All right, and then the last thing that we need to do is we have to dress up our envelope. So let's do that. Again, we're going to use the, I like the fauna paper, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing like we did on the other card. I'm going to use my seal, so we'll go ahead and attach it with the seal. All right, and don't forget, you can find this in my online store, and you can go into the Stampin' Up! Site and just search my name, Dawn Duval, if you don't already have it listed in there. And if you have any questions, let me know. But this suite is found in our online exclusive. So you type in or search online exclusive, or just type in Utterly Amazing, and then that will bring up the suite. And then it gives you the option of which pieces that you want to purchase. All right, so we're just, again, we've got this adhered to the flap of the envelope, and we are going to just cut around, and then we'll have another beautiful set that we will mail. I'm sure the post people probably appreciate having some flaps that are dressed up, don't you think? They probably get tired of looking at white cards all the time, white envelopes. All right, so there is our otters swimming, and here's the other ones that are laying together, and we will get that envelope out. There you go. What do y'all think? Leave me some comments. There we go. Utterly Amazing. And you have a choice of purchasing the suite with the paper, the stamps, the dies, the twine, and the embellishments. All right. Thank you, everyone. It was nice seeing you. Have a great weekend, and I will see you all again next Tuesday evening for our weekly Facebook Live at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on our Shall We Stamp page.